Walt Munsterman, past president of Education Minnesota, retired. Let's talk about public pensions. First of all, the scope of public pensions. Tell us about the public pensions that there are in Minnesota and how much money that they have.
The legislature has three different public pensions set up in the state of Minnesota. We have the public employees system, which is called PRA. We have a teachers system, which is called the TRA, and we have the state system, which is called the MSRS system. Right now there are 170,000 retirees who reside in the state of Minnesota. Many of them spend their money in the system. The 170,000 put in $3.4 billion a year into the state's economy. And this is spent in the restaurants and the grocery stores and in the areas in which they live. So an example, in Hennepin County, there's 28,000 public retirees who put in the system $645 million a year. And on the other end, Red Lake has 191 public retirees who put in approximately $2 million a year into the public system. So these are examples of the retirees that live in the different communities around the state. This does not include, however, people who may be just on Social Security or on some other retired private programs.
Now let's check into the source of public pensions in Minnesota. How much have people put into it? How many, different public employees, teachers, and other people put into the money? How much of that money it comes from investments?
The employees put in approximately 14 to 15%, and the employees put in around 18%, and the rest of it all is generated by the funds that are, as they are invested. 67% comes from the funding, the investment of these funds, which is done by the State Board of Investment, which oversees all the pension funds, does the investment. And that board includes the officers of the state, the governor, the auditor, Secretary of State. All of these people serve on that committee.
And finally, let's look at the politics of it. Are there critics of public pensions in Minnesota?
There are critics out there now trying to change the systems from defined benefit to defined contribution. In some cases, they're trying to eliminate the programs completely. Examples of these is an Arnold Foundation, which comes out of Texas, who the individual happens to be a CEO from the Enron Corporation that went defunct. He's spending millions of dollars in many states, including Minnesota, to try and change the program. The Koch brothers are also another group which are attempting to do this, along with other conservative individuals we have in the state, because there are people who would love to do the investment of all these funds on a private basis rather than a public basis as we use today.
Who are our defenders and advocates for public pensions in Minnesota?
Right now we have a majority DFL legislature which is very supportive of our pension programs that we have here in the state of Minnesota. And also the governor has been very supportive of the program. We have to be very careful, because if we don't maintain that, we could be in trouble with our public pensions if we cannot keep that moving forward as it is today. It's very important to remember that in the state of Minnesota, if we did not have a public pension fund that the legislature has set up, many of these retirees would be in serious trouble when they retired, and we probably would be on the tax roll being supported with that in order to exist and survive in the state of Minnesota.
Walt Munsterman, past president of Education Minnesota, retired. Thank you for explaining public pensions to us and for your tireless watchdog role before the state legislature.
Thank you.